So, this is then the Hill of Tara. According to Lonely Planet, it's the most sacred piece of turf in Ireland. Now it's swept in dense fog, or rather smog, I would call it, because it seems like people don't really have the capacity of being able to dry the wood um, before they burn it. I guess it's got something to do with the climate. But um, on the Hill of Tara, we have a small bookshop owned by Michael Slavin, author of historic and equestrian books, show jumping correspondent for newspapers, radio, and international sporting journals since the 1960s. And I've asked him where does he think show jumping will be in the next 20 years. You ready for part one? Fences and course builders.
Yes. Well, first of all, we have to look backward to see where it has come over the last 20 years and the way it has evolved. Now, I've been watching show jumping for the last 60 years, so I've seen it gradually evolve in that period of time, where the fences in particular, let's take that first of all, the fences have changed dramatically. Not in the best way, because they're not as interesting as they used to be. We used to have stone walls, we used to have banks and ditches. You don't have that anymore simply because of the price of horses, and you don't want to take any chances with them. So you want level ground, the same kind of footing all over the world in every place, and practically the same type of fences. The material of the fences themselves, that has evolved tremendously as well, because the poles are now much lighter. They're also shorter than they were before, easier to knock, in other words. And the cups that hold the poles, they've changed dramatically from something that was very solid to something that was very, very fragile and very flimsy. So those are the things that I've seen changing in terms of the fences. The course builders, they have become much more technical than they were before. At one time it was a matter of just putting the fences up, getting strides between the fences okay, and on you went from there. But now they think it out much more technically, and you have some course builders in the world right now that are far superior in terms of technicality than the ones that I knew back in the 70s and 80s and so forth. Frank Rothenberg is one example where he has grown with the sport. But people there are many others around the world now that are coming along that have a tremendous sense not only of the fences, but of the horses, of the riders, of what each horse can do, and they build accordingly. The other thing with regard to the fences, I can't see any major change with regard to them in the years ahead, because a horse can only jump as high as a horse can jump. So you're talking maximum 1 meter 55, 1 meter 60, maybe just making it a little bit higher to 165, but that's about as far as you're ever going to go in the evolution of the horse. The horse just hasn't evolved to take on fences one after the other at anything higher than that. So I don't think the height of fences is going to become any more. The width of fences probably going to stay pretty much the same. The variety on the fences, I think, is going to evolve a bit more. You're going to see a little bit more of Liverpools on the courses. Things like that, where you can put in, even though you're using the same kind of sand terrain, you can put in little things like Liverpools and that put a question mark before horses. So there will be some evolution in that way. They use the colour of fences and that type of thing that will change. But I think the biggest change is going to be in.
Yes, what is the biggest change in show jumping going to be? What will we see in 20 years' time? Follow the development of show jumping in further parts with Michael Slavin from the small bookshop on the hill of Tara, Ireland.